Now that Carol and I are having so much fun, my wife can hear us high-fiving and giggling as we have all this success. She's like, I think I want to be part of this. I'm like, well, okay, we'll find a spot for you.
We'll let you in.
We'll let you
No,
into the
I'm
party.
kidding.
Yeah.
How would a bank manager trust a business loan broker? Well, they first need to know that you're going to actually call their freaking client if they give you a lead. Each client is worth so much for them. Why? They're in a local geographic area. They only have so many clients, and clients actually know each other. If the reputation of a branch manager is ruined because of you, not only it hurts you for future sales, but it hurts the job of that branch manager or a small business banker. So then if you go to these events, they need to know that, oh, this person is reliable, right? So that comes without saying. So when you go and tell someone, oh, I talk to branch managers, they don't work. If someone was watching over your shoulder, have you done all the things that you could do to over deliver, right? Go above and beyond. That's why when I had a group of accountants every year, I would send them cigars and wines and the gift baskets and all that stuff. So they know that I care. It matters to me because my work matters to their customers. You see how that creates like a chain reaction? It makes things a lot easier.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
So we did the event. You guys started the podcast. You're doing a webinar. You guys are killing it. And now we're taking a step further. You join our, what we call the BLB Stacker Pot program. So it's an AI-driven system where it allows you to make 100% on the funding options, like the term loans and 0% financing. And it kind of teaches you with AI which cars to choose, how to help the customer. That's going to be the next journey. So that way you can still grow without hiring more people. So I guess a year from now, what are we going to talk about when it comes to your company? Where are we going to be?
Well, I don't want to say that we both retired because we're both having a lot of fun.
Just starting.
Yeah, really, we're just getting going. I don't know. I guess in a year from now, hopefully we'll just be talking about another year of tremendous growth. I mean, with the Stacker, I'm loving it, and it's solving problems we were having with another company's system, which was so much overpromise, underdeliver. And this gives us more than the extra 15% we'll make on each deal. I think it's going to give us more accurate estimates, and I think so too. That's worth it right there. To not be like, well, I know we told you 66, but we only got you 20. Sorry, that's happened. That happened a few times, so I'd like to avoid that. Yeah, I guess in a year from now we'll be talking about not just the webinar growth and the podcast growth, but our secret project that we're hopefully getting out and done this week, and how that changed things for us. So.
That's perfect. I think we'll do another episode in a year from now. But Carol, you wanted to say something?
Yes, and also we love to give nationwide presentations of our educational program. So I'm excited about that too. We're connected with also the Hispanic Chambers of Commerce, reaching out to them. And we want to connect so much with all those programs as well for them. And always trying to see what we can do better. So like right next, that Tuesday after our training was like, okay, let's brainstorm all the takeaways, what we can do better to get Ocho to the next level. And we've been making those changes and we've been seeing the improvement. So it's always important.
Yeah, no doubt you guys will nail it. And we'll finish off with a story. Like I remember Boyd attending the very first event. There was no Carol back then, right? It was the Miami event, Boyd?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was either Miami or Orlando.
Was it Orlando? I don't know. We did a lot of events. I forget the location. All the conference rooms get mixed up in my brain. That's crazy. Yeah. But I know you were kind of sitting quietly, introduce yourself and all that stuff. And I'm like, is this guy bored? Like, what's going on? And then I think it was the end of day 2. He told me that he's going to leave. I'm like, okay. I hope everything is okay. And in the hallway, him and I are talking. I'm like, hey, you okay, dude? He's like, yeah, I'm going to leave because whatever. I think you had to leave for a reason. I said, yeah, what's your goal? And I remember he said that I want to retire my wife, right? Yeah. So you mentioned that. I'm like, that's very cool. And you talked about the whole webinar idea and all that stuff. And
because we were already doing it.
You were already kind of kicking it off.
Yeah, that was our second event. It was that first one in Orlando when I declared in front of the whole group, I'm here because I want to retire my wife. We had the CPR training business and she was getting tired of it. And we wanted to sell it, and she wanted to retire. And so here I was trying to grow Ocho as fast as I could so she could retire.
Yeah.
Then when we got to Miami, you asked me for an update, and I said, our goal was the 4th of July. I think we might be 3 months late, but we're going to get it done. We did sell the business in November, and she retired, and Otra was doing well enough at that point that she
Amazing.
retired. But now, I mentioned this to you in Houston, now that Carol and I are having so much fun, my wife can hear us high-fiving and giggling as we have all this success. She's like, I think I want to be part of this. I'm like, well, okay, we'll find a spot for you.
We'll let you in.
We'll let you
No,
into the
I'm
party. Yeah. But by law, she's 50% owner anyway. It was great to get her to retire from the business that we had that she didn't want to do anymore.
Yeah.
We got her out of that. And that was a big, big deal.
Huge.
For the both of us, is to
Yes.
reach that point where, okay, sell it now that we got something else to work with to carry the family. So,
And the accountability part is huge, right? You were not, it's a big, bold goal, and you were not afraid to declare it to the world, the entire room, saying that that's what you're going for, retiring my wife.
that's why I was
And
there.
honestly, you made it happen. A lot of people like say things, but no one else knows their goals, right? So that's very important for us to be vocal if we're serious about it. Otherwise, we're just talking, we're just whining about what could happen, and you said it because that was an immediate need for the family, for the marriage, wife, and all of that. And honestly, retirement or making a lot of money, the beauty of that, it just gives you options. Now she's retired, doesn't mean that she was going to sit around and do nothing all her life. We knew that. Like, you knew that. It was
She did for a few months.
For a few
got
months.
bored.
Yeah. Anyone that I know who made a lot of money and retired, usually second month, they're like, I got to do something with myself. Like,
I got to do something.
Yeah, you can't be just, but that's the good part about running a successful business, is that it gives you those options that you can, otherwise you don't really have an option if you're living paycheck to paycheck, right? For example, when this business took off, my wife, she's a nurse. So she decided to quit being a nurse and decided to become a stay-at-home mom. And we have 2 kids and she's been raising. So I work from home against the will of a lot of my coaches. A lot of them told me that you can't grow a multi-million-dollar business from home. And I said, watch me do it.
Yeah,
and I work from
I will say the same.
because family comes first, right? So family over profit, family over money, and all of that stuff. So I wanted to do it while I watched them here. So we made that decision. But when you look back, the decision came from being able to have a successful business that gives you that freedom. If you don't have that, there is no decision to be made. Decision has been made on your behalf by your boss that you're going to show up tomorrow at 9, right? The reason we do things, you can choose this as a vehicle. You can use podcasts and webinar or lead generation. It doesn't really matter. But when you decide to help other people understand the financial literacy, like Spanish speaking market, boy, you and I talked, they're probably one of the most underserved markets. They're kind of trying to cling and understand the US system, but there's not a lot of resources. And then you provide that just education to them. They take and run because they're hungry and entrepreneurial anyways. They don't need that. They just need more help a little bit to climb the ladder and understand the system. Would you guys agree?
And they're so grateful. Carol, you can talk to that better than I can. They're so grateful for the education and the help and the opportunity that we're helping them get.
Absolutely. And they just need to understand, because I told Boyd all the time, like, our financial system is completely different at the point that we don't trust the banks. We don't trust the credit card system at all, and try to erase that and re-educate them, like, this is how it works here, and you can trust the loan officers, the business loan brokers, because we want the best for your business. That's what we're working on.
That's incredible. Yeah, like 4 or 5 years ago, you're so right, Carol. We wanted to start an adventure of starting a merchant cash advance company in Mexico. Totally failed because I didn't understand the culture. A lot of people just kept cash, and one of the requirements is that you gotta have a bank account so we can check, like, the business bank account. When we tried to get it from people, they're like, I can pay you cash, can I pay it back in cash? We're like, no, it has to be like tracked. And that's just the thing. They'd never trusted the system. They've been hurt so many times before. It's not like US is like a centralized system. It totally failed, but it comes down to the fact that those who make it here, it's a big culture shock, right? Everything is documented here. There's a credit score, and your credit score can go up and down depending on what time of the day you check it, or what you buy, and things like that. It's like very systematic process. It can be a major shock for someone who's coming in and trying to figure it out. And Carol shows up saying that, oh, yeah, you need a credit score. And it might be tough to believe unless you educate them, help them understand why it is needed,
Yes, and I think our credit history as well, because they're like, no, just one credit card is enough. No, it's not. So.
Carol has lived it. She's been in the States for 20 years, a citizen for almost that long. She made that transition. She understands it. And so the way people click with her so immediately, she's just instantly credible because she's lived it herself.
Of
Now she's a
course.
broker, and every webinar we have is sponsored by some group, and so there's implied credibility and implied sponsorship there, and we just come across as the experts. So
You guys are. Wow, guys, this was incredible. I know we can talk until the next
I
day.
know.
for sure we can. Yeah,
You guys are amazing. See you in the inner circle in the Stacker program. But thank you for
Yes,
joining
sir.
us. I think this is going to help a lot of people not only understand the business, see the potential in how they can, I guess, use their current potential and transfer it to somewhere that's more valuable, that is worth more, because the market pays you based on your skill set and your contribution. If you help someone get access to 100,000, you're worth a lot more than if you're flipping burgers in McDonald's, right? So that's why the proportion of payment changes, not because you're a good person or a bad person. It's just what vehicle you're using, right? So hopefully this session will help people at least think about it a little more. Where are we going to be a year from now, 5 years from now? If you keep doing what you're doing right now, will anything change in the near future? Unless you make like declared decisions like Boyd did, I'm going to retire my wife and start this. Those are like really bold moves that many people are scared away because they've been burned before. But unless you change something drastically, a drastic change will not happen, right? That's just how it works out. But thank you joining, guys. Love both of you.
You're welcome, Oz. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Likewise.
Appreciate it all. Thank you.
All right. Take care. See you later.
Have a great day. Bye.